Warning: the stories you're about to hear are real and unscripted. Names have been changed to protect the identities of those involved. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is a story I don't like to tell. In fact, I tried putting it all behind me, until this morning when I received a terrifying letter in the mail. A bit of backstory. This all started 3 years ago, when I was living in Boston with my girlfriend, Hannah. Hannah and I met at a party. I had stepped outside to get some air when I saw her smoking a cigarette underneath a street lamp. I wasn't so much of a smoker, but she was pretty and I was alone, so I went ahead and asked if she had an extra. "Tell me your name, and it's yours." Those were the first words she ever said to me. We moved in together a year later. Things went pretty well over the next few years. We graduated from school, she was a semester behind me. I found a job with a research institute in Cambridge, and she was starting to freelance while she worked on her grad school applications. And then one day, everything changed. Hannah was gone. It took a few minutes for me to realize it. I had just stepped out of the shower and I was getting dressed in the bedroom. She had been in the next room watching TV and was also on her laptop. I called out a question to her from the bedroom. No response. I didn't think much of it. I finished putting on my clothes and walked out into the living room. And she was gone. The TV was still on, her laptop was on the couch. I figured she must have stepped outside. Maybe she ran to the bodega for a pack of cigarettes or something to eat. Totally normal of her. I sent her a text, "Hey, where'd you go?" And I made myself a tuna sandwich for lunch. It took me about an hour to realize something was wrong. We had plans to meet up with some friends that afternoon, and it was nearly 2 p.m. now. She hadn't responded to my text, so I decided to give her a call. What happens next is something that I still don't understand, even years later. It was one of those moments which causes you to question everything and reconsider the laws of reality. It terrifies me to even think about it, but it's true and this is how it happened. I called Hannah's phone and within a few seconds, it began to ring. I then heard a vibration coming from across the room. I walked over and saw her cell phone sitting on the table. She must have forgotten it, I thought. As the call ended, I saw the previous text messages I had sent her, still unread on her lock screen. Then I noticed that her other things were still in the apartment too. Her shoes, her purse, even her keys. I was so confused. I started to panic. I checked in the closets and underneath the bed. I looked out the window to see if she was down on the street. I decided to go outside and look around the neighborhood. Maybe she just stepped outside for a cigarette, forgot her stuff and locked herself out. But as I walked out the front door, I saw something which still makes me sick to my stomach to think about it. The chain bolt on the inside of the door was locked. She never even opened the front door. We never found Hannah. The police got involved. There was an investigation. It was the worst experience of my life. My girlfriend had simply vanished, and I had no way to explain it. And the police had a hard time buying my story. There was no way in or out of our apartment besides the front door. It was locked and she was gone. It just didn't add up. Since then, I've tried moving on with my life. It took a few years, but I was able to rebuild and start living again. I left Boston, found a new job in North Carolina, and even started dating a girl I met online a few months ago. That is, until this afternoon. I just got home a few hours ago. It had been a few days since I checked the mail. It's only Bill these days, so I look inside and found a large white envelope. And then I looked at the return address. The letter came from Hannah. It's even got her old address on it. It's in her handwriting and I haven't opened it yet. I'm waiting on the police to arrive so I'm not alone. I'm terrified of just what could be inside.